Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. I am your host, Auntie Derek, and I have my lovely co-host with me, I Chill. Hey, boo.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, and today is Thursday, May 22nd. I think we have some fabulous tea for us today to go over. But first, we will be starting with the May Mayhem suggested by Chill, where for the month of May, we've been giving some accolades to people who make good trouble within society. So, like I said, we're going to be maybe I shouldn't even talk about this because I'm really I'm a stickler for sharing like personal information, especially things that could be used as a security question online in public forums. But I still think we should talk about it, especially because it's his birthday today. So, oh, and before I start, I really want to highlight, the show has an email. So for the month of June, I think what we'll do for June is because June will be Pride Month. So I think I want to pretty much highlight some queer people, some queer accomplishments for the month of June before the show. So with that, if there's any queer icon that you would like for me to go over, anybody that you want me to research and talk about, please email us at auntie@auntiederek.com. In fact, you could just give me a name and I'll take care of the rest. But yeah, anybody that you want to hear talked about, a queer person, especially for the month of June, definitely hit us up. And again, our email is auntie@auntiederek.com. So anyway, well, for today's mayhem, as promised, we're going to talk about my very first celebrity crush on his birthday. And we want to take happy birthday, Johnny Gill. And we're gonna talk about him today. We have a nice bio about him from blackpast.org. So New Jack Swing R&B singer Johnny Gill Jr. was born on May 22nd of 1966 in Washington, D.C. to Johnny Gill Sr., a Baptist minister, and Annie Mae Gill. He began singing at the age of 5 in church and his family's gospel ensemble, Little Johnny and Wings of Faith, with his brothers, including Bobby, Jeff, and Randy Gill, who later became a solo recording artist and a member of the group is that 2D Extreme. Gill's early education began in 1972 at Kimball Elementary School in Southeast Washington, where he attended Salsa Junior High. However, in 1980, his strong interest in music led him to study at DC's Duke Ellington School of the Arts. Because of his performance schedule and demands, his high school academic studies were completed in 1984 by professional tutors. Gill was the sixth and final member of the popular R&B pop group New Edition. Gill's solo career began in 1983 when he released his first top 30 R&B single, Super Love. 2 years later, in 1985, he released the solo album Chemistry. In 1988, he joined New Edition, replacing Bobby Brown. At the 31st Annual Grammy Awards in 1988, Gill received nominations for Best R&B Performance by a duo or group with vocals, for the single If It Isn't Love. The following year, 1989, Jill joined the R&B singer Stacey Lattisaw on the single Where Do We Go From Here? It peaked at number 1 on the Billboard R&B chart. In 1990, at the 33rd Annual Grammy Awards, Gill was once again nominated for Best R&B Vocal Performance, Male, for the album Johnny Gill. The album contains several hits such as My, that peaked at number 30 on Billboard's Adult Contemporary chart and remained there for 9 weeks. Wrap My Body Tight peaked at number 57 and remained steady for 3 weeks that year. One of the singles from the album, Rub You the Right Way, reached number 3 on Billboard Hot 100 charts. The the song My dominated the US and R&B charts and was among the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The album reached the top spot on the US Billboard Top R&B Albums chart and was among the top 10 in the US Billboard 200 chart. It sold 1 million copies. In 1993, Gill released Provocative, and 3 years later, in 1996, he reunited with the New Edition recording Home Again together. That same year, he released Let's Get the Mood Right with the single It's Your Body. That reached number 19 R&B and number 45 Billboard Hot 100. In 1997, united with Gerald Levert and Keith Sweat, thus forming the ensemble supergroup LSG, which stood for Levert Sweat Gill. In 1998, the hit Curious peaked at number 3 in the UK and number 28 on R&B. In 2006, his son Isaiah Gill was born, and in 2011, Gill released the album Still Winning. In 2019, Johnny Gill received the Soul Tracks Reader's Choice Award for the Album of the Year for Game Changer 2. So he's still making music to this very day. So again, happy birthday to Johnny Gill. He is what? If he was born in 19, that will make him 59 today, and he'll be 60 next year. Yep. So good to see our legend still, and he looks good. Have y'all seen Johnny Gill? He still looks good. So I guess the crush is still there. But let me stop because he says that what did he say on his unsung TV One special that he is 210% heterosexual, honey, and he is not Eddie Murphy's side piece, allegedly. So again, happy birthday, Johnny Gill. We wish you many more. And you were my first celebrity crush. Like I tell y'all no lie. I want to say maybe at like 4 or 5. I was in awe of him. Y'all can ask my parents. Everything Johnny Gill. I wanted to listen to him. I wanted to see him on TV. I wanted my hair cut like him with the high top fade and the part in the middle. Baby, I was in love with some Johnny Gill before I even knew what love was. So yeah, that's that on that. Shout out to this living legend here. Now, just out of curiosity, have you all heard any rumors about his sexuality over the years, or no?
Yes, but only about him and Eddie Murphy. I mean, I don't know about anybody else or anything else other than that.
Honey, they say that allegedly, this is all allegedly. I have heard that Johnny Gill is like the superhead of the industry, honey. They say he sucks some dry, honey, up to the point where they say he sucked Eddie so good that he has his own room at Eddie's house, or had his own room at Eddie's house.
Yeah, I heard that.
Hmm. But y'all didn't hear that from me because I don't gossip because that's just tacky. He said,
I
"Who does he think
know.
he is, Derek?"
And
Look,
Megan Niles just tickle me like I am straight. You could say anything. I could say I'm, you know, Beyonce's sister. Don't make it true.
well, it might be. Aren't you in Houston? There, baby. Let me stop.
Yeah, that's my cousin. you know.
And Hammy, he doesn't have to be Derek. There's enough room for all of the mouths of the South. There's enough room for all of us to exist. So there's enough room for all of us to thrive. Eddie Murphy has how many rooms in his house? So it's enough room for all of us to exist.
Oh Lord. Yeah, I mean,
And
what is
my
he
Jamaican
supposed to
queen,
say?
right? And my Jamaican queen says, "I stay out of straight people business." I know that's right. He
We,
says, "But I know you're very territorial about that title." Okay, you're right. You're right.
I mean, we don't really. Do we really care at this point?
I
Do
do because I could have got with him when I was a teenager. Let me stop.
okay. Well, other than Auntie, do we really care what he does, who he's doing it with, or anything like that? No.
Nah,
Live your best life. Be yourself. We don't care.
but I definitely think his music career would have certainly taken a hit had he had been open. Then when they tried to do that old fake relationship between him and Stacey Lattisaw, now I'm like, girl.
Well, yeah, and that's the problem with the whole industry. Some people, well, I think today, maybe not in the past, no one really had the luxury of coming out. It was best you keep your sexuality hidden. But today, right now, we don't care what he's done with Eddie Murphy. I think they've been around long enough to, nobody cares.
Yeah, they have, but it's still some is because you remember even to this day we were just talking about Boss Man D'Lo, and if
Yeah,
he is on the DL, like he can't. If he were to come out and say, "Yep, this is what it is. I like what I like, honey," his it I think his artistry would take a hit.
you think so? As young
Absolutely.
got out there and worn dresses, and I mean, I don't know, Auntie. I really don't know. if that would be the case right now. I think it's maybe he would lose some fans. I can't disagree with that, but would his career really be over? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe the image he's projected is against, you know, being homosexual. So if he's been projected as having bitches and money and, you know, I don't know anything about his music, like the lyrics or anything. So maybe that will be a contradiction. I really don't know.
You
But
might
it
be
would be
right.
kind of weird. You're because you can't actually make music about liking men, right? Unless you, I mean, if you're openly homosexual, that's what you would have to be doing. You can't continue to make music about having women. It would seem kind of weird.
Yeah.
So maybe that would change things. I hate that though.
You and me both, honey. Well, let's does anybody want to add anything about Johnny Gill or sucking dick so good you get your own room at a celebrity's house before we get started with the tea? Allegedly, allegedly. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started with the tea, honey.
Let's get the tea time.
Yes. So we're gonna continue to do what we've been doing. So we're gonna just kind of go over this People article quickly that summarized day 8, yesterday's, of Diddy's trial. And let's see. So what we know so far, because we talked about some of it yesterday. We talked about the psychologist, Dr. Dawn Hughes, who pretty much testified what abuse does to victims. And then they put on the stand one of Diddy's former assistants by the name of George Kaplan. And it says Diddy's former assistant, this is what we did not go over yesterday. Diddy's former assistant says he would clean up Mogul's hotel rooms. So George Kaplan, Combs' former assistant, says he would clean up the Bad Boy Records founder hotel rooms rather than have the hotel staff do it. It was implied, protect his public image, Kaplan testified. I was keen on doing that. Kaplan claimed he would clean bottles of baby oil, Gatorade, and once brown crystallized powder on the counter of the bathroom sink. Yeah. So that was the latest update from yesterday with George Kaplan. So now we can go over today, and we're going to be using CNN. And we know that I want to say maybe around an hour and a half to 2 hours ago, before the start of the show, Kid Cudi took the stand. So we're going to talk about him. But y'all see, I just shared this CNN link that has the live updates with the trial. And let's see. What I like about this is that it has a catch up section, so you can catch up what you may have missed. And let's see what we have on the catch up section. It talks about George Kaplan. So we already went up. Oh, let's see. So prior to testifying yesterday and without the jury present, Kaplan invokes his Fifth Amendment right not to testify on the grounds of potential self incrimination. Judge Arun Subramanian then signed an immunity order that required Kaplan to testify. Kaplan can still be prosecuted for perjury if he lies on the stand. Okay, so that's very interesting because Kaplan was not going to speak, but he was granted immunity. So now he's going to go ahead and let the chopper sing. It says handling of Combs's cash. Kaplan infrequently carried cash for Combs, he testified, but recalls one time in 2015 when Combs' security staff asked him to hold $50,000 while they were on his private jet, and a couple of instances where he had to get $10,000 cash from Western Union. But he wouldn't hold on to it, he said. He would hand it to Combs after he picked it up. He was a witness to violence. Kaplan testified about 3 instances where he witnessed violence from Combs, twice with Cassie Ventura on 2015 on Combs' private jet, though he doesn't recall seeing any injuries on her, and another incident later in the year where he said he saw Ventura with visible injuries at one of Combs' homes. Kaplan testified to witnessing a third round of violent behavior where he saw Combs throw a number of decorative or real green apples at another girlfriend, unsure if any of them actually hit the woman. Okay, so this motherfucker want to throw apples at people. Like, girl. It says employment was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Kaplan took special care to clean up hotel rooms after Combs left him. He testified. We just went over this because he was concerned hotel staff would try to sell content from his room and that could hurt the music mogul's reputation. Kaplan gave notice that he was leaving in September of 2015 and finally left in December. He testified after the incidents he witnessed. The central reason that I left my job as Mr. Combs' assistant was that I was not comfortable or aligned with the physical behavior that had been going on, and that I've seen pieces of over the course of a couple of months, he said. He said he told Combs he left because his dad was sick, and Combs was extremely gracious. Kaplan stayed in touch with the music mogul because he liked Mr. Combs and wanted to continue to have a relationship with him. He said, adding, working for Combs was a once in a lifetime opportunity, even though his moral compass pushed him to quit. And then it says the last update about Kaplan lessons in business. Under cross examination, Kaplan said Combs made his world so much bigger in a short period of time, remembering business lessons Combs imparted on him. I hope he told him the right business, honey. Okay. And now let's get to Kid Cudi, honey. So the latest Kid Cudi updates. Let's see. Scott Muscudi, aka Kid Cudi, previously dated Cassie Ventura, as we know. In the early days, Kid Cudi says he and Ventura met in 2008 and were friends until they started dating around 2011. The musician understood that Ventura and Combs had some problems and they weren't dating anymore. But when Combs learned that Kid Cudi and Ventura began dating, Combs told Kid Cudi by phone in December of 2011 that he wanted to talk to him, the musician testified. So he left the hotel he was at with Ventura and went home, he said. A break in at Kid Cudi's home. Directly following that phone call, Kid Cudi returned home, but Combs wasn't there. Instead, he found his security cameras had been moved, gifts he brought for his family were open, and his dog was locked in the bathroom, he testified. Girl.
Wow.
After the after the break-in, Kid Cudi spent the holidays with Ventura's family and received a few texts from Combs, but the rapper was not interested in talking to him, citing that he believed Combs was responsible for the break-in. He testified, noting that he filed a police report about it. Um, Kid Cudi's Porsche was excuse me. Kid Cudi's Porsche was damaged with a Molotov cocktail. One morning in January of 2012, Kid Cudi said his dog watcher called him from his home to tell him that his car was on fire. Looking at photos, Kid Cudi explained that it looked like the top of my Porsche was cut open, and that's where the Molotov cocktail was put in, causing further damage that couldn't be salvaged, he testified. Combs and Kid Cudi meet in person. When Kid Cudi arrived to his meeting with Combs, who was alone, the musician testified that Combs was standing there, staring out the window with his hands behind his back like a Marvel supervillain. and the and the pair went on to discuss Kid Cudi's relationship with Ventura from start to finish. He testified. When Kid Cudi asked Combs about the damage to his car, Combs denied any involvement. Kid Cudi said on the stand. The pair ran into each other in 2015 at a club, and Combs pulled Kid Cudi aside to apologize. Kid Cudi testified, adding that he, quote unquote, found peace with the situation with Combs after that. And it says feeling played. Kid Cudi described feeling played and upset, learning that Ventura ultimately went back to Combs, he testified. It says he was a confidant to Ventura. Kid Cudi testified that Ventura told him that there was physical abuse in her relationship with Combs, that he would hit and sometimes kick her, which bothered Kid Cudi, he said. But Ventura hadn't told him about any sexual abuse. Let's see. It looks like there was one more update. Oh, it just says the latest update. The judge is back on the bench. They just got back from break. All right. So that was the latest update with Kid Cudi, and that's what he said. Look, Hammy pick it up. Domatage. I don't know where in the hell that word came from, Hammy. You see what happened when we be trying to read too fast? And it says, who the fuck does Diddy think he is? The Godfather? Exactly. Sitting there, staring out the window hood with his hands behind his back. Like, dude. We already know that motherfucker bad shit crazy, but dude. Well, that's that on that. Does anyone want to add anything?
Well, there's really no proof that he did it, even though he threatened to blow up his car. He said that, but there's really no proof. So I don't know if this testimony really did any good. I mean, what? And whatever Cassie told him, that's just he said, she said kind of thing. So yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
And the fact that he said he got a call from Diddy, he was like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and see what this man want. Go to his house. He gets there, Diddy's not there, but all of his security cameras is gone. All the gifts that he bought for his family have been opened, and they locked his dog in the bathroom.
Right.
So,
But no proof that he did it.
but no proof that he did it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we will keep you updated. So tomorrow will be day 10 of the trial. We just went over day 9. So we will finish we'll do what we've been doing and make sure we read the summary from today and then see what new information we learn. All right. Well, the next story, honey, I feel like y'all are not really going to care about this because of who it is. But Apollo Nida, y'all remember him? Phaedra's
Oh,
ex-husband.
yes.
Well, you know that he was married to another woman, Shireen.
Right. Who was
Shireen
dead
Coates.
while he was in prison, and yeah, they got married
Mm-hmm.
once he got out.
Yeah, well, they divorced now. She don't want nothing else to do with his ass, and apparently he's been cheating.
Oh, oh, surprise!
Hello. So the woman who called Phaedra a bad bill bitch. Yep, the very same.
That yeah, her. Hmm.
And then y'all see where I just shared from the shade room. Wayment, Shireen Coates put ex-husband Apollo Nida on blast with cheating footage and texts begging to come home. So it starts off with, okay, so boom. Shireen Coates came in hot with some wild claims and alleged receipts to match about her now ex-hubby and former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Apollo Nida. On Tuesday, Shireen dropped screenshots from a video that shows Apollo all booed up with the mystery woman in the kitchen at Shireen's home. One shot even catches getting touchy feely, while another shows him kissing the woman on her neck. In the post's caption, Shireen called him out for supposedly sneaking around and being unable to afford a hotel while doing so. I found my voice. He lost his mask. Don't bring anyone to my house while I'm out of town because you can't afford a hotel room. Shireen said the footage was taken around 1:36 a.m. on May 17th. But get this, just the day before, on May 16th, Apollo supposedly texted her he wasn't messing with anyone else. Well, Shireen dropped more texts claiming Apollo was trying to clean his mess. I never brought women to our house, and I never put nobody in the bed, Apollo allegedly wrote in the messages. Shireen drops a text from Apollo after peeping the cozy clips. They have pictures of it here. And it says, in more messages, he denied dealing with anyone else and begged Shireen for another chance, saying he wanted his family back and wasn't interested in being in the streets. Uh, it says, well, I'm not dealing with any women. Number one. Number two, I want my family back. I don't want to be out here dealing with all these random people, is what he says. In another convo, he apologizes for neglecting her and doubled down for wanting to make things right. I neglected you and I'm so sorry. I need you and my family back. The need is better than the want. Boy, he is landing on thick, ain't he? Shireen didn't hold and kept dragging Apollo in her Instagram post. Sis dropped a separate message in the post where she straight up called Apollo out for his narcissistic ways, accusing him of always attention seeking, or accused him of always seeking attention, rather. He doesn't love, he feeds on attention, admiration, and easy access. This is what narcissistic abuse looks like. And this is why I speak out, Shireen wrote. Um, they say here's a little backstory. Right now, it's unclear where things stand between Shireen and Apollo, but she filed a divorce back in February after 3 years of marriage, according to People. The outlet says court docs show that they've been separated since November of 2023. Shireen reportedly claimed their marriage was irretrievably broken. Shireen and Apollo's situationship started to turn heads when she popped up on season 9 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. That moment had folks, even the case, side eyeing the timeline of their link up since she got with Apollo while they were while she was still, well, excuse me, while he was still legally married to Phaedra Parks. However, Phaedra and Apollo wrapped up their divorce in 2017. They share two sons, Aiden and Dylan. At the time, Shireen said she and Apollo found love while he was locked up for fraud and identity theft, and that they were friends for 4 years before they started dating, just like Chill mentioned. And then we have some social media comments that weighed in. And boy, when I tell you I live for the comment section. So somebody says, I'm tickled because this was literally her with Apollo when Apollo was still married to Phaedra, pot meet kettle. Someone else says, meanwhile, Phaedra's somewhere doing boots on the ground. somebody, somebody else says, he never had a mask, beloved. You just thought you could change it. Oop. Somebody else says, same way you got them is the same way you lose them. Someone else wrote, after seeing all these comments of her being the side piece first, I wouldn't have said anything about this on the social media platform. You thought you were bigger than the program, laughing my ass off and shaking my head. Another person wrote, he was a Dusty. Yeah, yeah, he was a Dusty. And that was a Tia Kemp quote. Another person says, Phaedra tried to tell you, but I guess sometimes experience is the best teacher. Somebody else wrote, away from me with this, Apollo. And then somebody else wrote, somebody said Chuckles and Phaedra with a bunch of laugh emojis. So yeah, ooh, what family? They got children. Didn't let me see. Didn't they have a baby together? Let me see.
I
Shireen.
don't remember them having a baby, but that doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so I just googled Shireen Coates' kids, and no, it does not look like she have any kids with Apollo. Um,
Well, at least she didn't
yeah,
do.
thank goodness. And I'm just over here like, oh wow, a light skinned man being narcissistic and doing narcissistic abuse, groundbreaking. Like, girl,
He's
um,
been a con man all his life. Like, why would you think that he would be different with you? Why?
and that's my thing, Chit. You are absolutely right because I'm sorry, and I really hope this doesn't come off as victim blaming because that's really not my intention. But at some point, we have to like start really using our critical thinking skills, right? Because this is not when he was locked up. He wasn't locked up for like shit like weed, like a weed charge, nothing like that.
No.
He was locked up for racketeering,
Yeah,
scamming, fraud.
fraud. Right.
He's only good for some ignorant sex. Do like Kaya said, get that dick and go. Well, yeah, yeah, you're right.
So
And
you
make
know
sure you
he
hide your
got a,
pocketbook while you're at it.
right. You know he got a smooth tongue if he out there scamming and frauding people. That's gonna include cheating and gaslighting. And why would you be exempt? Because he
Mm-hmm.
said he loved you, girl. These
Let me
women just
read.
really need to open up their eyes and their brains. And yeah, he scammed you too. He, of course, she met him in prison. There's a lot of prisoners out there that are using women. Every show that's on about love after lockup, love during lockup. Oh, I love you. Send me some money. And they can't wait for him to get out, and then things go south because they didn't love you.
And oh, girl, and you just brought up something.
Mm,
Now, I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want to put anybody's business out there. But let's just say I had a very very close friend who introduced me to what was the name of the website? Like I think it was Prison Pen Pals or something like that. Something.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
But my friend was actually writing back and forth to people that were in prison.
Mm,
So one letter that he got, he actually showed me this letter because he didn't even know how to respond to it, and he never responded. Well, excuse me, he told me that he never responded to it. I don't know if he told me. I don't know if he did otherwise. But in the letter, he said, you know, the person that was writing him was like, I want you to prove that you're gonna be a part of daddy's life. So send me some money. And no, I ain't talking about no $20, $30. Send me some money. He put send me some money in all caps.
mm,
So now my friend didn't have any money to send that person. And now this person got your address and shit, bitch. Like your ass dumb sell. I'm sorry. And I told him this. So that's why I'm saying if they did write this person back, they didn't tell me about it because they know I would have called them dumb as hell.
right. I mean, I've seen, I've seen some of the writings from those prisoners, and some of them are very quite articulate and can put sentences together and seem um, very educated and intelligent and interesting. And for a person who's lonely, I can see how they get caught up with some of them. Now, I'm not saying all of them are like that, but some of them really are. And I think just being lonely just opens you up to being used.
Y'all
Uh,
better buy you a rose and let that use you, honey. If you know what I know. Let me
I,
stop.
it, it's amazing. I've talked about this before. How on trials of serial killers, Ted Bundy, Richard
Hmm.
Ramirez, the Zodiac, not the Zodiac killer. Was he the Zodiac killer? He's one of those killers. And the courtroom was full of women. And oh, he's too good looking. I don't think he did it. And they were admiring these men and just they just wanted to be their girlfriends. And I'm thinking, this man is on trial for bludgeoning women in the head. They know he did it, and you're in here talking about he's so good looking, you don't believe it. It's some really ignorant um, people out there lacking brain cells. It's sad to see, but it happens every time. Every time.
Agreed. And we have a comment that says Ted Bundy was ugly as shit, but let them tell it. He was the finest thing walking. They have Derek goggles on. No, the hell they don't, because I agree with you. Ted Bundy was ugly as shit.
Not to the women in the courtroom. And Richard Ramirez, oh boy, they thought he was God's gift, honey.
Right. Oh, girl.
They
I
just,
wouldn't even let that motherfucker sniff anything I got going on over here, let alone thinking he cute. Oh God, no.
it's amazing. It's just amazing to see. I mean, even some woman wanted to marry Charles Manson. It's like, girl, really? All of them. Every single serial killer like has some kind of admirer. You know, it's wild. So
Well,
hey, there's somebody lid for every pot. They say, even the wrong pots.
hmm. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about befriending and writing scammers and falling in love with them and shit before we go on to the next story?
And she gonna leave Apollo, and he's gonna find somebody else. We're gonna see him in the news with another woman. You watch. He's gonna get
Well, it
another
might
one.
be another man, honey, because I look, because listen, the way he attacked Brandon in that episode, honey, that just mm.
They
It's
gave
a
him
certain way, it's a certain like
vibes.
way, you know, at and you know what, some of these bottoms, honey, these gutter butt bottoms, like that person that I was just talking about who wrote that motherfucker in
Mhm.
they would gladly take him in, honey. Cook, clean, and wash everything.
Wow. You leaving Marcia?
Well, honey, this next girl. Now you know, because I'm a real bitch and I do real bitch things, I can acknowledge when someone that I don't care for, when they do good things, like this three-letter girl. Y'all know I don't see it for her, but baby, she ate this. So I just shared this link for Vibe, where it says SZA defends Megan Thee Stallion amid bullying from Tory Lane supporters. So SZA has stepped up in defense of Megan Thee Stallion as Tory Lanez claims new evidence will prove his innocence in the rapper's 2020 shooting, despite being convicted for the crime. In the section of a video uploaded by Georgia criminal defense attorney, the Luncheon Lawyer, the SOS performer reacted to the alleged theory that Lane's legal name, Daystar Peterson, was not the triggerman in the violent event. In the clip, the luncheon lawyer explained that the press conference held by Peterson's legal team and social media statements are not relevant without presenting these claims in a courtroom. SZA commented, "The density. I'm actually so shocked at the amount of people fully comfortable bullying a woman that's proven to be a victim of assault," declared SZA. "Like out loud where other people can see you?" Laughing my ass out. "You finna be stupid out loud?" You know what, three letters? You ate that, girl.
She did. She did. Out loud.
You ate that. Now I won't be giving you too, not too. I won't be giving you too much, not moving forward. But like I said, because I'm a real bitch, I can acknowledge when somebody ate that.
I mean, the
But
disrespect is just, it's unbelievable. The think pieces and TikToks and everything coming out about this in support, calling her a liar, and just uh,
and like that tweet said, like, this is like a really good litmus test of where you like, because anyone that look at all the information that has been presented thus far and still side with that man is just like, okay, you just on something else. I don't know if it's massaging war or what, but something is making you not believe this woman's victimhood, and that is a problem for me.
well, I think it
But
goes back to what I was saying about the women in the courtroom for the serial killers. It's some stupid people out here, Auntie, and
yeah.
they're out here on the internet, and that's just the only explanation I really have for it. That you have no critical thinking skills, and that you would out loud say the things that you're saying. So um, that's the only that's the only reason I have. It's just stupid people out here. Period.
hmm And it looks like Hammy agrees with you because he commented stupid and proud.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm
Some doing it for clicks and I guess trying to monetize or whatever. I couldn't look stupid for money. That's just not me. But I guess whatever gets you paid is how they feel about it. But some of it is really just pure stupidity, ignorance, um, lack of education. Because that no student left behind shit has
Oh,
left a
girl.
lot of students behind.
Girl,
The
and
reading.
remember, these are my peers, the ones who've been left behind. Like that was introduced when I was in
Yep,
high school.
yep,
These are my peers, and now these people are parents, and now a lot of them are turning into grandparents now. So just the stupidity is just being passed down to
yep.
generations. Like, girl, I oof.
They can't help the students with the schoolwork. They didn't get help. They kept getting past. Their reading comprehension is at sixth grade level. So what are they going to do for their children? You know, it's
Ooh,
crazy.
child.
So here we have a whole. Now, I don't think the internet is representative of the whole world. Of course, there's only the people we see. There's millions out there that we don't see, but the ones that are on the internet, honey,
Girl, girl,
if
girl,
that's a
girl, girl.
representation, it's scary. It really is.
hmm Well, child, it's one thing because I like again, like even though I don't like three letters, I really appreciate that she did this because
Yeah,
it like support, especially like at a time like now, is everything. Especially when you have people like Glorilla. I don't know if you saw that from
I
last
did.
night with it.
I did.
Child, well, we gonna talk about it, honey. Now she says that this is an innocent mistake.
Right.
I'm mm, I might believe her a little bit, but I still got my side eye on her.
Well, she gets high and whatever in parties. I mean, I could see her just making that post, maybe not noticing that song was there, when you're doing your thing. I'm going to give her a little grace on this one. I think they talked it over and worked it out. But yeah, yeah, we watching you, girl. We watching you.
Yeah, and and remember, this was the same young lady that said that after all them years of eating ham, she didn't know it was pork until she was an adult.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
that's why I'm giving just a little bit of grace. Okay, so
A
maybe she is.
little, a little grace, okay? Because she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, okay?
hmm
I love her
So
too, but we watching you.
well, this I just shared this link from All Hip Hop that breaks it down. And it says Glorilla shut down rumors of a rift with Megan Thee Stallion after speculation swirled that she had taken sides with Tory Lanez by reposting one of his songs on Instagram. The Memphis rapper caught heat after sharing Elaine's track with a post that read, I'm forever grateful for the heart I have, the way I love, the way I treat people, my pure intent, it's all a blessing. Given Lane's 2022 conviction for shooting Meg in 2020, the post quickly raised eyebrows. Shortly after the post went live, social media users noticed Megan had unfollowed Glorilla on Instagram, prompting talk of a possible fallout between the two collaborators. Glorilla then unfollowed Megan as well, adding fuel to the online chatter. But the tension didn't last long. Glorilla addressed the controversy directly on Twitter late Wednesday night, saying, and she it says I don't internet shit, but I'm sure she meant to say I don't do internet shit and I don't do mess. It was an innocent repost. Y'all BSN. I don't know what BSN stands for. Y'all blessing or I don't know.
Bullshitting or
Maybe.
something. I don't know.
So this statement seems to cool things off, and both artists now follow each other again on Instagram. The timing of the dust up was especially noticeable given Megan Thee Stallion's recent remarks following a push to part in lanes, and we talked about that before, so I really don't really need to read this quote that she said. But yeah, and you know huh? They say she's not even a knife; she's a spoon. But yeah, like and even if we're not like the best of friends, you know, if we did because they've put out images that they are cool with each other, right? You know, they've
Yeah,
done
they perform
podcasts
with each other.
together.
Yeah, they've been on stage together. It was. I'm gonna give her grace this time. I am.
So
But
I
you
know if I was
people have
Megan's
to.
friend, honey, and well, if I were Megan and I saw my friend or quote unquote friend do some shit, like I'm like, okay, I would have did the same thing. And then
Me
to
too.
unfollow me after I unfollowed you for it, girl. Mm-mm.
And not even reach out. Like why? It was just. Yeah, yeah. But you got to be careful on the internet. I hope she's learning this lesson. You have got to be careful what you post because
Mm-hmm.
people are watching you and they're going to take any mistake that you make and run with it. They're going to run fast and hard.
They did indeed, and honey, because of that, honey, people don't pretty much expose her nose job that she done got. We won't spend too much time on this, but yeah, all of this gonna cause a bunch of people to bring up her nose job. And I'm sharing
Which
this link from Hot New Hip Hop.
is, I'm not going to say anything.
But I'm just gonna share my screen and we're just gonna kind of look at the because they have a side by side.
Hmm.
So, Glorilla seemingly confirms she got a nose job after fans noticed a change in her appearance, and she said, "And did." So,
And is the one on the right is the after?
yes, it is.
Oh my God. Hello, girl. Her nose wasn't that bad in the beginning. She has a Negro nose, and it wasn't out of proportion to her face. I mean, she had a nice nose, and this thing she got after, mm-mm.
Looks like Whoville. Somebody put, is that a PT Cruiser?
I'm playing with y'all faces. This is not This was not necessary, girl. Whew.
It
I
really
know.
wasn't, honey.
Now she gonna have to get somebody to fix. She gonna get another one because she know this shit is fucked up. Gonna wind up with a Michael Jackson nose. Keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
they.
um in another girl that I've been giving a side eye to in regards to Megan because of an interview she did not too long ago, Cash Doll. Y'all know her. I just
Yes.
kind of been side eyeing her because you know she said that like, oh, it's crazy what happened with Tori and Megan on both sides. I'm like, how is it on both sides? One side shot another side. Like, girl, are you
Right.
anyway? Her man, he is loving her. He's like loving her loudly and proudly, and he is denying any cheating rumors.
Mm.
So I'm going to share this link from the Shade Room. Her boo Zadarius Smith. I'm still not over him asking, is that a PT Cruiser?
She the one that gotta believe it, not us. Okay. All I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So y'all see, I just shared this link from the Shade Room where it says at Zadarius Smith addresses rumors of cheating on Cash Doll after photo with mystery woman goes viral. So the Shade Room caught some now deleted posts from Zadarius Smith after a blog seemingly accused him of cheating. The page dropped a pic of him laid up in what looks like a hotel room with a mystery woman's feet posted up on the chair he's sitting on. The blog insisted the photo came from April of this year, but Zadarius quickly clapped back and called it cap, saying the pic was actually from last year. Uploading something from last year to try to break us up is crazy, Smith wrote. Zadarius also let the blogs and trolls know that Cash Doll isn't going anywhere. He basically said find somebody else to play with because he even dropped her government name in another post. Arkesha Knights isn't going anywhere, so y'all need to stop trying. He added along with two emojis. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. And let me just share my screen. Y'all can see what he said. See the post y'all selves. That's pretty much that on that. And the comments that they added to it really weren't that interesting. But yeah. And let me see if I can find the picture that they were talking about. Here it is. Yep. So he's saying that it's from last year. Their source is saying that it's from April of this year. And look, that ass just naked, honey. Tootsie cat all out. They had to put a heart over his no area and her feet up, honey. Mm-hmm. Well, just like Chill said, girl, I don't know who you trying to convince, me or you, honey. Who do like? Hey, that's that on that. Anybody look? Anybody want to add anything? All right, y'all. Where the next story? South Korea. You know what y'all did y'all thing. I'm proud of South Korea right now. They said Kanye West can't sit with us, honey. He is not welcome here. So I just shared this link from All Hip Hop, and y'all see where it says Kanye West's South Korea concert scrapped over controversies. So Kanye West lost another international stage after the abrupt cancellation of his planned concert in South Korea due to ongoing backlash over his recent behavior and lyrics. The performance, originally scheduled for Saturday, May 31st at is that pronounced Icheon's Munhak Stadium, um, was scrapped by Coupang Play, the streaming arm of South Korea's e-commerce giant Coupang, and ticket distributor Interpark. The company issued a joint statement on Interpark's website saying, "We regret to inform you that the Yay Live in Korea concert, originally scheduled for Saturday, May 31st of 2025, has been canceled due to recent controversies involving the artist Kanye West, Ye. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience this may cause. We kindly ask you for understanding." While the statement didn't specify which controversies led to the decision, the move follows a string of public incidents involving West, including releasing a song titled Hail Hitler in May. The track has drawn widespread condemnation and reportedly gained traction among neo Nazi groups, according to reports. In addition to pulling the plug on the concert, Coupang also removed West's Yeezy merchandise from its online marketplace on Monday, further distancing itself from the rapper's brand. All purchased tickets will be automatically canceled, and full refunds will be processed sequentially. The company's confirmed. West's recent behavior included a barrage of offensive posts on social media where he shared misogynistic, anti-Semitic, and anti-LGBTQ rhetoric that we really don't even need to read, child. But, but yeah, and you know what? Shout out to South Korea for doing this. I feel like we need more of this. Like when people are clearly problematic, y'all do not need to be platforming them.
Yeah, I've already seen some TikToks of white people jamming to that song. So it's definitely a problem. He needs to be canceled worldwide immediately. Stop giving him any kind of stage. Ban him from any red carpets. Just erase him, please. Please.
Amen. Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything else before we go to the next story? Oh, well, another story. Well, our next story about another problematic rapper who was canceled. The baby, he's actually has just a little bit of good luck after all he's been going through. Oh, hold on, let me read this comment. We don't condone assault, but the people ain't getting popped in the throat like they used to. Well, as an Aries, I do condone assault. So Well, speaking of assault, though, the baby, he actually had a win in court. Do y'all remember when was it 2022 when he got into it at a bowling alley with Danny Lay's brother? So I just shared this link from the Shade Room. Brandon Bill's bowling alley brawl lawsuit against the baby was dismissed. So according to Rolling Stone, a Los Angeles judge, Huey P. Cotton, has dismissed Brandon Bill's assault and battery claims against the baby and his label, Billion Dollar Baby Entertainment. Apparently, Brandon was moving too slowly to serve the lyricist, even though he filed the lawsuit back in February of 2022, just days after the reported attack. The baby was never handed any legal papers. Brandon's team tried to reason with the judge. They claimed it was virtually impossible to track down the baby because of his busy lifestyle. But the judge wasn't here for the excuses, especially since 3 years and 3 months have already passed. Meanwhile, the baby's lawyers have been pushing to get this case thrown out since March. They pointed out it had been past the 3 year statute of limitations. Additionally, they reminded the court that Brandon had the green light to serve the baby through publication, but for whatever reason, he failed to do so. The baby's attorney went ahead and filed a motion back in March per Hot New Hip Hop, writing, Bills commenced this baseless lawsuit on February 16th of 2022. More than 3 years have passed, and plaintiff has failed to serve the baby. They called it appalling that Danny Lay's brother didn't even try the publication route after the court gave him the go-ahead in April of 2024. In the end, the judge said the case is closed with prejudice, meaning Brandon can't come back to try and refile. While the baby can sigh in relief over Brandon's lawsuit, he's still not out of the clear with Corbin Bowl. That's the bowling alley in Topanga, California, where the incident occurred. The establishment filed indemnity claims against the North Carolina native, requesting that the baby be held financially responsible due to his role in the attack. Corbin Bowl, which is being accused of negligence for failing to prevent the alleged attack, continues to deny any wrongdoing. A trial for the case is expected to commence in the fall of 2026. So now this is interesting. Back in October 2024, the baby sat down with an interview with Bootleg Kev, in which he shed light on the court case with Brandon. Judging by his response, the baby was far from worried about it, though. The levitating hitmaker appeared nonchalant about the whole situation. He calmly expressed that Danny Lay's brother would have to pay his lawyer fees once all of this was said and done. And we're gonna just watch this clip because it was about 30 seconds. Hey, favorite tours. It was about 30 seconds. And you'll see him, like, I just found this to be very interesting. He pretty much said that this case was going to be dismissed.
Yo, talk to me about this lawsuit with Danny's brother, which is pretty crazy.
Man, I don't know nothing about it, man.
Who threatened you on the internet?
Yeah, I don't see that going well for the man. You know what I'm saying?
And then approached you after he threatened you. I just don't understand the
threatening me on camera with all different,
I just don't know why you would sue somebody after that. Like it
just don't make sense. You're gonna have to pay them lawyer fees, my boy. They gonna make you pay them too. They ain't making me pay them.
That shit's crazy. It makes zero sense.
Zero. That's gonna be the easiest case I've never had to beat.
Was he? I mean, he was right.
So. He ate that one little thing.
But I have to say, his cancellation, like, I have never seen anything like it. Because usually when people are homophobic in the hip hop space, they usually tend to be rewarded. And for him, look, fuck the toddler. I forgot he was alive. Y'all are hilarious. But the way a lot of his shit was just like a lot similar to Kanye, like a lot of his concerts were canceled and all of that. I'd never seen anything like it. So I'm like, maybe there is a shift. But we need to see more of it. So go ahead, favorite Taurus.
If memory serves me correctly, you can even sell out of Chili's.
And if you can't sell out of Chili's, honey, with them half off appetizers. Oh no, I think that's Applebee's that does that. Never mind. Especially since a majority of them are DL. Oh, allegedly. Well, that's that, honey. Now, I don't really see it for Danny Lay anyway, honey. So I hate that her brother had to be dragged into their shit, but I'm not a fan. DL
Every,
Bubble Butt was.
go
What'd you
ahead.
say, baby?
I was gonna say everything he did since he came out was problematic. Remember when he hit that girl in the audience, walking through the audience, and she touched him or something, and he socked her, and then he brought Tory Lanez out in the midst of
Mm-hmm.
before the trial with him and Megan. I mean, he just proved to be a nasty person. So uh, I'm glad he got canceled early.
That's why I tell y'all, don't be trusting these niggas from either Fayetteville or Charlotte. Let me just make sure he's from Charlotte before I say that, because I think he is from Charlotte. Let me see. The baby hometown. Yep, he from Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, he was raised after being born in Cleveland, Ohio. Mm, I guess. I said what I said. Thoughts and prayer. Go ahead, favorite tourist.
But what about Durham, Auntie?
Oh, we're the best. You see, the thing about Durham natives is that we are a cool people. I think that's a pair where you see people like Andre Leon Talley or April Parker Jones. Durham has some bad bitches, including myself.
Well, there's your answer.
He said no Fayetteville slander. Wait, Bull City, hun. Let me tell you about Fayetteville, honey. If you see me in Fayetteville, call the police because I have been kidnapped. There is no reason for me to be in fucking Fayetteville. I'm sorry. Look, bad concerning you is supposed to be derogatory, bitch. Heaven, you got me fucked up. Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything to this old big waterhead motherfucker before we go to the next story? Okay, y'all. Well, the next story is kind of hilarious. I know we are tired of hearing about Krishan and Blueface and all them,
So,
but
huh,
Krishan is claiming that she's trying to make some changes, and she really wants to make amends with her mother-in-law, her child's grandmother, which is Blueface's mom, Carlissa Saffold. So she posted like a little video online that we're gonna watch, and Calissa just posted a screenshot. Pretty much, she's not buying the apology. So let me just share the. It's an Instagram video by Live Feeds. Give me 1 second. Well, first I'm gonna share the link in case the listeners want to go to this later. And now let me share my screen. Oh, look at all those eye rolling emojis. Okay, let me refresh so we can start from the beginning.
Sorry, Carlissa. I'm sorry, Jaden. I'm sorry. Who else? I apologize to that whole side of people. I'm just sorry because I really care about my son, bro. And I know he'd be thriving better with his siblings too. And Carlos, you got me blocked on Instagram, so I can't follow you. But girl, you could come get your grandson for when he come home in August. So he'll have all his kids there. I don't, you know, I literally want to take myself out of the situation and then just receive whatever God has in store and what purpose He has for this whole thing to work out. Um, I know for a fact once I let you in my son's life this time go around, you won't even play with it because you will actually love my son and you respect what I have to say. Sorry, Carlissa. I'm sorry, Jay.
Okay, so that was that, and this is what Carlissa responded. She put a screenshot of a text that she had with her son, and she might want to chill because I think you're not supposed to have these phones in prison or in jail, so you might want to kind of chill because you just dry snitched on your son, by the way. But her son reached out to her saying, checking on you, you good, and I'm sorry, she sent her son the message checking on you, you good? And he was like, yeah, how about you? I'll be home soon. She says one day at a time. Rock said that she's sorry and want me to be in the baby's life. I don't trust her though. He replies, yeah, me either, to be honest. When did she say that? Don't entertain it. She trying to set you up something. And then she captioned this post, this screenshot. I'm praying for healing, but we as a family are not ready at this time. So yeah, that's that. She said, no, thank you, girl. Keep that shit over there. And I don't blame her. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
No, I want her to post more screenshots of their interactions of Jonathan in prison. I would love to, to hear more of what they have to say. We need to be educated for Auntie's daytime tea, right? So they need to do us a favor and have her to keep posting these chat messages of Jonathan in prison. I think that will be wonderful. I'm sure God is. Of course, God doesn't get tired, but if God were a human, right? I'm sure he or they or she would be absolutely fucking exhausted. Yes, I said fuck and God in the same sentence. Lord knows my heart. Anyway, of that mess being brought up, of God's name being brought up, and everybody else's mess, and talk about it's God's will. How in the world? I don't know what type of documentation they've been reading as it relates to God, but they need to. Oh, sorry, I forgot. In America, the average reading level is third grade. So if they have like a cat in the hat version of the Bible, I think that would be helpful. Otherwise, it's futile and it's moot.
Yep, the Cat in the Hat version of the Bible is the one that's used in most churches today, honey. Ask me how I know. So yeah, and we have a comment. Take us out the group chat. Mm-hmm.
No, Miranda, leave us in. Leave us in.
Right, because Jonathan think his ass getting out, honey. If they find that contraband on your ass. Well, I got 2 more stories left. Anybody want to add anything before we go to the next one? Okay, so question. Give me some emojis or put it in the chat. Are any of you fans or have seen the show Bar Rescue? I know I personally don't watch. Okay, so we have 1 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. Happy watches. Okay, so if I say the name John Taffer, that name is familiar to y'all. John Taffer from Love That Show. Okay, good to know. So if you love the show, so you must know who John Taffer is. Happy, is that? Can I assume correct? You don't know John Taffer? Anyway, well, I bring his name up because he's actually suing someone for impersonating him. And this is correct, because it's not just any impersonation. Like, he's doing like very inappropriate things while he's impersonating this person. So I just shared this link from TMZ, and y'all see where it says John Taffer sues Florida impersonator again, seeking $50,000 in damages. Oh, Happy says, "Oh, him, yes, him, girl." So John Taffer is once again suing a man allegedly running around Florida bars pretending to be him and harassing people, according to a new lawsuit filed by the Bar Rescue star and his lawyer, Bradford Cohen. Here's what we know. In court docs obtained by TMZ, John claims Vic Coralio has been impersonating him since 2017, continuing to do so even after filing a lawsuit against him in 2024. John Taffer says Vic is not just trying to pass himself off as him as a form of flattery. He alleges he's committing sexually inappropriate and abusive acts against women while using his name. For instance, he says one woman retained counsel claiming John sexually assaulted her in 2020, but after spending tens of thousands of dollars in expenses, the perp was confirmed to be Vic. And a few years later, in 2024, John's team was contacted by a woman claiming Vic tried impersonating him, even showing credit cards with his name on them to prove his identity, and was extremely touchy and inappropriate. The lawsuit states Vic, who has openly touted their similar physical appearance online, attempted to use credit cards with John's name to gain victims' trust on more than one occasion. His alleged continued impersonation comes after they reached an agreement in September of 2024, which stated Vic would cut the crap, but apparently he has not stopped. The television personality and hospitality expert is asking Collier County, Florida, to help put an end to Vic's harmful nonsense after he's been notified of ongoing harmful impersonation incidents. Oh, and he's asking for $50,000 in damages, arguing Vic's actions have continued to expose Mr. Taffer to ridicule and shame, causing substantial and irreparable damage to Mr. Taffer's personal and professional reputation, and violated his rights, including his right to control his name and likeness. We'll have to see if John's second lawsuit is a successful renovation. It's gonna look 50,000. That's just lawyer fee. Exactly happen. I feel like he's being nice with this, honey. He should have went after his ass. This man is assaulting women under your name, and now you're being contacted about it, baby. $50,000. You need to go for his neck. So, yeah, that's that on that. So
Fucking weirdo. Damn.
Does anybody want to add anything else about this weirdo before we go to the last story? The show is so interesting because it goes over how bars are run, especially bars you may be familiar with. Mm-mm. Well, the next time, oh, not yawn. Well, the next time, honey, they might need to. It was the credit cards for me. You got credit cards in this man's name, and you trying to persuade these I guess the women that you sexually assaulted or whatever that you are really John Taffer. Like that shit is crazy to me. People are crazy.
Really, really crazy.
Well, speaking of crazy, honey, I know UMG's Universal Music Group's lawyers, they team of lawyers, baby. I know they are exhausted because they are really because now another lawsuit has come about with a man's suing them. We already talked about Salt and Pepper suing them recently.
Oh Lord, now who?
So now this person here, I'm sharing from TMZ. It says Universal Music Group sued by man claiming he's owed for work with Johnny Cash. So this is dating years ago. So Universal Music Group is being sued by a man who claims he worked with huge acts like Johnny Cash, Twisted Sister, and Shania Twain, and is owed over $72 million for unpaid services. In the lawsuit obtained by TMZ, a man named Gary Douglas Peabody claims Johnny Cash called him up in 1970 and asked him to come to New York to get signed as a singer or backup singer and writer. He says Cash was working for UMG. He claims Johnny called him up again in 1974 and told UMG owed him $25 million, asking him to come to New York to collect the funds. Peabody claims in 1993, Twisted Sisters Dee Snider called him on the phone and told him he's owed $10 million for lyrics he's written for the band, which was signed to UMG. He also claimed he did backup lyrics work over the phone for UMG and says he's been told the songs he worked on generated $100 million. Peabody claims in 1996, Shania Twain, who signed to UMG, called him and discussed the backup job. He says UMG reps called him in 2015 and asked him for lyrical services, which he says he provided over the phone. He says, he claims in 2017 he declined a job offer with UMG because he hadn't been paid for prior services. Peabody claims he's reached out to UMG about being paid in April of 2025 and hasn't heard back, so he filed a lawsuit. He says he's owed $72,325,000. Worth noting, he doesn't mention any contracts or having anything in writing. We've reached out to UMG. So far, no word back. So, ooh, child. And you know what? I believe him.
Oh yeah, these companies been screwing over artists forever and ever. Is that Twisted Sister in the middle?
I think a member from Twisted Sister. Is that Dee Snider? Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell. Oh, and fuck Shania Twain. I just want to go on record saying that we don't. She not even from here. She don't even go here. Sitting over there trying to endorse Trump. Girl, you can't even vote over here. Anyway, with today's technology, where we can now audit and reconcile masters and publishing, people may realize they're owed more. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
73 million is a chump. For real.
Yep. So I'm sure we have not heard the last of this, and I'm sure this is not going to be the last UMG, honey. With the way UMG been showing their asses over the years, honey, I'm sure. Let me be careful what I say, honey, before they come out send me a cease and desist.
Well, I mean, the fact that more people are coming forward is saying a lot.
Agreed. Go ahead, favorite tours.
I love every second of it. If I'm being completely honest, the way the establishment has fucked over people, especially artists of color, since the introduction of recording music, and now all the chickens are coming to roost. I love it. I wouldn't be sad if UMG got bankrupt and it was like a field day with the music industry, because it's been a long time coming. Like, you don't realize how nasty and vile that industry is. All the while, it's supposed to provide tools to help us feel good and reminisce and all of that, but the underbelly is just so ugly and nasty and tainted. It's disgusting. It's
It
crazy.
is. They keep all the money.
Mm-hmm. It
Hopefully not
says,
for long though.
"Oh, go ahead, favorite tour." I was just about to read this comment in the chat.
Oh, okay. I was saying hopefully not for long though. You know, and yeah, hopefully not for long.
And then it says, "Saw the TMZ clip about Bieber on Scooter. Bieber accusing Scooter he's owed money. Scooter says, in fact, says Bieber owes him 1 million outside the audit. Came to discuss. Yes, yes, Happy. We went over that. We talked about that on the show, honey. And it turns out Scooter is actually owed 8 million, but he won't get it because that church cult that Justin Bieber's in allegedly, honey, they taking all his money. So go ahead, favorite tourist.
So is this a scheme that Todd had set up, right? So that
Indeed.
Justin joins the church, right? Allegedly. And then the church is non-taxable, allegedly. So therefore he don't owe the money to Scooter because it's tied up in the church. So therefore he don't have to pay it back because it's for religious purposes.
There you go. And then the crazy, because you remember he sold his mask. Now keep in mind, these are Justin Bieber's masters that we're talking. We remember we talked about him selling his masters for $200 million. Only 200 million. He could have gotten so much. This is Justin Bieber's music that we are talking about. Who is it? Just he on billboards, number ones and shit for weeks and shit like that. So I feel like he could have gotten more. But Scooter even suggested, hey, don't sell it right away because you're going to take a loss. Waiting at least until January so that way you can get, so you can at least get a tax break from it. They was like, nah, bro, I'm so broke, I gotta sell this shit right now. And Will, you just said something. That church done got up in his head, allegedly. And Happy says that's Bieber's fault. He's an adult, exactly, and an indoctrinated adult who really wasn't giving. And trust me when I tell you, I don't give two shits about that old closet racist Justin Bieber allegedly, but he really didn't have the education to kind of foresee this. Like somebody like him is can easily be indoctrinated by a religious entity.
Well, and he came out as a child. So he's been in their grip for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Under whose wing did he come in under? I'll leave that.
And I oop. And I oop. So, well, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before I head out and go and watch my stories, is there any tea that I may have missed or any tea that anybody else want to share? Go ahead, favorite tourists.
I have 2 stories today. Hopefully, they're long enough for Auntie to miss his stories. I'll
You
start.
better not. I will put that shit right on my computer screen, honey. You don't want it with me.
Hope they cancel it. Anyway, speaking of UMG, another story. Yay. But this one's about, if y'all remember the 2015 hit with Ariana Grande featuring Nicki Minaj side by side.
I do.
So, allegedly, it was stolen. And it's been discovered in a new lawsuit that a man is claiming that he had created a song that was either the same or similar. Somebody from UMG heard the song, stole the song, and had Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj cut it.
Oh wow!
Get the fuck out of here.
I haven't heard the track. The track, excuse me, is called the J5 quotations T6. I'm not sure if it's out yet. I'm gonna research it later on to see if the claims are accurate. But I just find it oddly suspicious how this is yet another case against UMG doing some fuck shit allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I found that to be quite interesting.
Look, the writing's on the wall. The evidence is there.
Yeah. So, but if it comes out to be true, I hope he does get justice and the restitution that he is owed from folks stealing his shit. And unfortunately, last I have to end on a sad note. There's a Bravo legend that is not doing so hot right now from the Real Housewives of Atlanta that wasn't a peach holder or a friend of the show. You may know her as Aunt Bertha. Aunt Bertha has recently been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, unfortunately.
No.
Candy had
Yes, I remember Aunt Bertha.
Aunt Bertha,
She
yes.
was part of the restaurant group
Old
that
lady
the
gang.
old
Mhm.
lady gang. Yeah.
Yeah, so Candy had shared on Amazon Live because, of course, Candy keeps a check, right? So she was on Amazon Live and she said that she had been diagnosed with Aunt Bertha. So hopefully I'm not sure what stage it's in, but hopefully she's able to get the necessary care to kind of live a comfortable life, because Alzheimer's can be an absolute terror and a bitch for those of us who had family members who were affected by the disease and see how it deteriorates themselves from the inside out over time. So it's a little
Mhm.
little triggering. So sorry for those listeners who have folks who in your families or loved ones who have also have
That's the
Halls
one
or
that's
had it
in the. I'm
in the
sorry.
past. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
That's the one that's in the meme that goes around Twitter. What
That
she
is
talking about?
correct.
Yeah.
That's her. Yeah.
Is this
Will
scheme?
quoted her earlier.
Yeah.
Hmm.
hmm I was trying to do an auntie and do a segue. Working on it.
No, well, prayers are fine, brother. Yeah, I really hate to hear this, and prayers to the family as well, cause woof.
Yeah, it's a
Mm.
terrible disease. Very, very terrible. Especially managing at home as a caregiver as it progresses. It's very hard.
Well, thank you, Will, for those stories. Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to share before we head out?
I'm gonna try and find something else so you can miss your story.
Oh, I won't miss it anyway, honey, because I will watch the replay later on
Whatever.
Paramount Plus.
Whatever. Oh,
Tr- Trust me, Beyond the Gates will be getting watched today.
whatever. Oh, I did have one actually. I shared it with you yesterday, Auntie, but I didn't share it with the show. Noah's Ark is coming back, and I'm so excited.
Oh, baby, when I tell you a bitch did a cartwheel yesterday, my big ass went outside and did a motherfucking cartwheel just because Noah's Ark is coming. This show, y'all, is my life. Oh my God. I am ecstatic. I know you landed on your
Really? You
head. No,
really
bitch.
did a cartwheel, Auntie? You really
I
did one?
did. That's how much I love this show, honey. I love this show.
Well, Auntie, gentle correction. Your skinny ass did a cartwheel.
I, yes, yes.
Oh Lord.
But no, this is really exciting because for those of us who are black or black in early 2000s and coming to terms with our sexuality, this show was so paramount because it covered so many different topics and it showed um, black queer men in love, which wasn't something that was shown in mainstream media at the time on a broader scale, uncovering topics like HIV and AIDS, which is still a hot button topic. I don't want to discredit that. At the time, it was before PrEP and the rep and the drep and all that stuff, before it actually got really became a controlled disease, if you will.
Yeah.
And it was really a culture shift for a lot of black queer men in particular, but everyone, black queer, everybody, of course. So it was sad how it got canceled originally, and then they attempted to come back with a movie. Did not like the movie, and then they came back. I hated it. Jump in the broom. I did not jump. Anyway, uh, and they did something during the pandemonium, which was nice to have like a reunion during the time we were all secluded in our homes, and now they're
Mm-hmm.
actually back, and it's going to be on Paramount Plus, which is very exciting that such a studio would take on this project. So I look forward to what other aspects of Black queer life they're going to be covering in the film, because I get we with these Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, and Gen whatever, like it will be great exposure for them to see, something that's from the past that kind of built the culture that they are benefiting from today. So, but yeah, that's all the stories I had today.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, honey. And I can't believe I forgot to talk about that. I when I saw that, like I said, I did a cartwheel. What this it was just so refreshing to just picture a young 20, 21 year old black gay boy who's watching a TV show, and it just features us. Like we go outside and there's a love interest for us. We talk about friends and family and what I don't, and it also brought in other discussions of like other parts of the community, like when Victoria Rowell came on the show and her character was DL and was in love with another woman. So it just what this show has done. But and Will, you might be right. The movie itself, Jump in the Broom, it wasn't the best movie, but maybe because like what was surrounding, because this movie came out the year that I moved to New York. And do you remember they were only playing it as only at a few select theaters. Baby, when I tell you, me and a group of friends went out to see that movie, it looked like a motherfucking pride event out there. We had us a blast. And I guess maybe because it was just Noah's Ark, we were so excited, and maybe it did make the movie more excited than what it really was. I don't know, but I remember loving Jumping the Broom, and well, then again, you might be on to something because I only really ever rewatched it like one time. So yeah, you might be on something like that. Be that good of a movie. And he had a scarf like Auntie. Yes, honey.
Mhm.
And when I tell you, I hope I remind y'all of Alex because baby, that's my spirit animal.
We love Alex in this house. I saw him perform quite a few times. I think I told y'all this. That was my first
Mm-hmm.
time going to a gay club, and LaChante Deverola was actually one of the premier performing drag performers. That was my very first time going to a drag show, was seeing LaChante. It was amazing.
Yeah, shout out to Ronnie Chesterfield. And Hammond says I've only seen the movie. Wow, that's surprising. Well, Hammond, I would truly recommend going back to watching because it was only 2 seasons. And I would definitely recommend the first season more than the second because I definitely enjoyed the first season more than the second one. But I feel like every black queer should watch this show.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Auntie. And if you can, Ham Hock, if you can find it, because it's a little difficult to find. It's on YouTube, but I would highly suggest that you watch the director's cut. Like there's a little extra seasoning on the director's cut, which would give the story more life. I believe that you would enjoy it. So if you can, but even if it's just the standard version, it's still enjoyable. So
Did you see this bitch in the chat? Well, since you said it, Wagon, I'll go watch it. Damn, me saying it won't enough, bitch. Damn. Y'all whore. This is why I don't like Libras.
or Gemini's, or
Or
Pisces,
Gemini.
or Capricorns, or
I'm glad it's coming back because representation is everything. So I'm happy for you guys. I really, it's not my lane, but I'm happy for you that it's coming back.
You should watch it too, Joe. If you haven't, I think you would enjoy it as well. You get
Think so?
a couple chuckles.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely would.
I
Well,
think
hell,
you'll like it.
yeah, absolutely. I think so as well. So you hang around us anyway, so you got the exposure.
Well, and y'all entertain me, so why not? I'm good. I'll give it a watch. I'll check it out.
Yeah, you would definitely enjoy it for sure.
Okay. Well, since you said so, Wagon.
Hmm.
That's some bullshit.
hmm. Well, it was Taurus season. Taurians are bulls, so there it is, Auntie. Her.
Moon, hey, gorgeous.
Hi,
Did you
how is
want? I'm good. Did you want to add something?
No, I came up and then I was going to ask you a question. And then I realized I had already asked you that question. And so I was like, oh, let me just be quiet.
Girl, you all right, honey. We don't mind being asked the same question. So it is all good.
I'm mad that I missed all of the tea because when I start scrolling behind and seeing what you talk, I said, God damn it, I missed the good shit. I
Well,
wanted to talk about some of that stuff because I've been going off on the timeline. I need to be quiet.
Well, which one you see? Because Will want me to miss my stories anyway. So what do you want to Which one did you saw that you wanted to add on to?
Well, I did. Well, not add on, but I didn't get a chance to hear. But I wanted the Glorilla, um,
Mm-hmm.
the just a little bit about the little baby situation. I don't care too much. Fuck Kanye, so I'm skipping that. That wasn't it. Um, Mostly the Glorilla and the Megan because Glow, girl, we was rooting for you. What is going on? You didn't. Ugh, don't break my
Yeah.
heart.
I know. I
We
know.
determined that we were going to like give her just a look because we we noticed that she, based off of previous activity, that she may not be the sharpest, well, the brightest crayon in the box.
Oh, yeah,
So
you're right.
so we kind of give, especially since they've refollowed each other, we kind of like, okay, girl, you give me a little grace, but we still watching you.
I think Meg is still a little because I hear she reposted a cropped out picture of her.
Oh,
Right.
With her, it was Meg, Beyonce, and I think Glow, and Glow
Yeah.
got cropped out.
Sure
So
did.
I don't know if it's all the way fixed.
They don't do that no more. But we gave her a little
Yeah.
because she didn't know ham was pork. So
Oh
yeah,
God. Yeah, you're right. But I've been trying to root for her because she's an underdog. She done came out the mud, and I'm
yes,
trying. But baby,
we're gonna say it
read the
was
room.
high. She was high. She didn't realize that song was on there. She wasn't paying attention.
All
We
the
gave we
excuses.
gave yeah we gave her this one, but any
It better not
further
happen again. I
right?
swear for God. I swear
We
for God.
mm-hmm.
we watching you, girl. We watching you.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think I need to take up because it's just so much. It's so much stupidity that it's starting to become overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
A lot of willful ignorance, and
That's the part that upsets me. It's willful.
yeah, and then the lack thereof of so many people that literally do not have comprehension skills. Like some of the things I've just seen, I'm like, how did you get that out of what that person said? How? But,
No
I
child
digress.
behind. Left a lot of childs behind. That's
A lot, and some grown folks, I don't know, they've been touched. I don't know. It's not good out here. It's not good. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm,
no reading comprehension whatsoever.
mm-mm. I'm like, boy, we are cooked out here. What?
Mm-hmm.
The ancestors are trying to fight back for us, but I don't know. I don't know if we can. I don't know if we gonna make it.
Yeah,
But anyways, how is everyone?
Fabulous.
wonderful.
It's almost Friday, y'all.
Yes.
Yay! It's almost my vacation.
Well, when is Noah's Ark coming on?
When Noah's Ark?
Well, June. What was the date? June something.
In
Shit, I forgot
June.
the.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you'll keep us updated on that.
Auntie, how
And
bad did you
Will.
talk about SZA? Or did you give her
I
a
you know
little bit of a reprieve?
I gave her a little grace. I gave her just because she ate that. She did a good job, so I'm happy with that. I still don't like the girl, but I'm happy she did that, and we need more of that.
Maybe she's learning. Who knows?
She
Maybe.
ain't learned a damn thing with her lying ass.
We just appreciated her support for Megan. She ate that one little thing.
Just that one thing.
Just that one little thing.
Hmm. Oh, and Will just shared so that Patrick Ian Polk's his fine bald headed ass. But the show will be premiering on June 20th. I want to rub
Oh,
that bald head so bad.
See, I don't have Paramount Plus. That's one thing.
I don't have Paramount Plus, and I want it.
I told y'all my grandma. Once I found out it came free with her TV playing, honey, I just been using her account. Maybe I shouldn't say
I
that on the
know.
public forum.
I know, cause I was like, wait a minute, Auntie, what happened to us? And I found out. And then I was about to say something again. I was like, how am I watch it? I ain't even got it. You got it back. And then I remember we had a discussion about where you went with that.
Yes, indeed. I may get the because now the one I'm using now is the ad supported version, and baby, that shit is just like watching paint dry. That Paramount Plus is so obnoxious with the ads, and them shits be like at least 2.5 minutes per damn, and they do it very often.
Oh, that's long.
Oh, the often
Other
is
other services, the ads aren't that long.
that's
Mm-hmm.
a long time.
That's damn near like cable. Well, cable is like 4 minutes long, so that's close enough. But most ads are under a minute on the other services that I have.
Yep.
Yeah, it's annoying. But the frequency is also the most annoying.
Well, yeah, yeah. That's what pissed me off so much about cable. They'll let you watch a good 20 minutes of an hour program, and then every 2 minutes, here come 4 minutes of ads, and it's like, it's egregious. I couldn't take it. It make me
Yeah,
change the channel. I
it,
got so frustrated, you know?
that's real. Do y'all realize like the stories that I be talking about every day? Like the actual episodes themselves are only 36 minutes, and
Right.
on Paramount Plus it says 30 minutes. So they have to stretch that out. All the rest of that whole hour is commercials.
It's
That shit
ad.
is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm nuts.
But maybe I'll wait until all the episodes are on and then subscribe long enough to binge watch it. Because
Yep.
I'm not gonna put up with that shit.
Oh, okay. Well, still, if you do, let me know, girl. Let me know.
I will. I will. Yeah, we got you.
Thank you, because I can't take on that another subscription.
I hear you, girl. I hear you. Alrighty.
Well, y'all, it is always a pleasure. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. Do not forget to hit us up with our email. That's auntie@auntiederek.com. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time if you can join the live show. In the meantime, you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
I guess you can watch your stories now, Auntie.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Will.
Bye.
Bye, guys.